Leadership is serving a cause that is greater than yourself.
Okay.
And also one of my favorite quotes by General Dwight D. Eisenhower: leadership is the ability to get people to do what you want done because they want to do it.
Welcome to the Nicholas Brown Podcast, a podcast talk show about real estate investing, business leadership, and personal development. Each week, we explore current real-life case studies about how to build financial independence through investing in real estate to build your personal portfolio through passive income models, along with interviews from the top business leaders and personal development leaders. Now, here's your host, Nicholas Brown.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gents. I got a great episode, and basically this is going to talk about improvising and accountability. I'm going to explain that to you when we finish this, because this person took charge. And when I read this about section, go to his link. Go to his about section link on there. That's going to explain more on how you overcome. So today's guest, before I start though, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube and make sure you download whatever podcast platform you use, because I promise you this is a treat. So make sure you do that. So today's guest is Marques Ogden, 3-time best-selling author, former NFL athlete, keynote speaker, and podcast host of the Lev and Marques Show. He's a keynote speaker, business coach, and corporate consultant with a unique approach to elevating your success to the next level. Marques creates presentations designed to help each brand in various elements of business: communication, sales, leadership, management, general issues, transition, innovation, customer experience, diversity and inclusion, and more. His presentations are customized to a more traditional approach designed around a success cycle, which brings value, the keyword value, ladies and gentlemen, back to the core basics of fundamental relationship building and success. Because improving your business doesn't have to be complicated, ladies and gents. Listen and watch his story, as I said before, on his website, which is www.marquesogden.com/about, of how he lost everything he went through. He lost everything through. He went through it. He didn't stop. He went through it, ladies and gentlemen. His transition from the NFL to becoming more accountable for his actions, from making millions as an NFL player, filing bankruptcy, making $8 an hour as an overnight janitor, and bouncing back as a 3-time best-selling author and highly sought-after keynote speaker, ladies and gentlemen. He's an example of my affirmation that I always end with these messages, which you watch, whether you're watching on YouTube or you listening on any type of platform for podcasts. When I end my events, I always says this, but he did this. He didn't condemn or he complained, because he had the choice to make a change. He could adjust and say, hey, I can't make this, let's do it some other time. But he didn't condemn. He made it happen. So as I always say, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. So ladies and gentlemen, reach out to Marques at www.marquesogden.com, MarquesOgden. Welcome to the show, sir.
How are you, Nick? Thanks for having me on, man.
Thanks, man. Thanks for coming on. What I'm going to do, because I appreciate your time. Time is valuable. I'm going to go over 3 things we talk about here with you. Thanks for representing my last series of leadership, because we talk about leadership, and I'm glad you're coming on, because I want to make a purpose to this. We talk about motivation, teaching, and perspective. So this is going to tie into what you do. You're a speaker. You overcome. You went through journeys. You had times you didn't have and times you do have. I want you to speak on that. So what motivates you from the NFL? How long were you in the NFL? Which I'm glad to have you.
I was in the NFL for almost 6 years.
Really? Okay. Multiple teams. You was on 6 teams, am I correct?
4 teams. So I was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Wow. I played for the Baltimore Ravens. Then after the Ravens, went to the Buffalo Bills, and after the Buffalo Bills, went to the Tennessee Titans.
Offensive lineman?
Correct.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Okay. So what motivates you, which, ladies and gentlemen, if you watch the videos, I said the story, it'll give more in depth. But what motivated you to overcome? So you had money and you didn't have money, and you was in the construction field at that time too, correct?
Correct. Yep.
So
I built the largest African American subcontracting
wow.
business in the city of Baltimore, in the state of Maryland, in the area of site work and utilities.
Wow, wow, wow. How long did you have it? Did you have it?
I had the company for about almost 6 years.
Okay, okay. So everyone, you go by Marquise or Mr. Ogden? What's comfortable for you, sir? I'm old school.
It's Marcus.
Marcus. Okay, I'm old school. I
Yeah,
apologize. That's why I have to ask.
yep. Not a problem, man. It's all good.
So what motivated you to change? So you were successful at that time, though. What motivated you to change? What happened?
So basically, man, after I lost everything, I had my spoiled milk rock bottom moment where somebody's trash and rotten meat and nasty protruding garbage got over my body, my skin, and
Wow.
my clothes. And that was what I call my inspirational moment. People use the word motivation. I prefer the word inspiration.
Right,
So that
right.
was my inspirational moment where I said, if I don't get my life back on track today, it's going to be exactly right here for the whole time. So that's what got me back on track at that time.
Okay, okay. Because you had a team with you also, right? Before you,
Mm,
so you're talking about when you became a janitor. Is that what you're talking
yeah.
about?
So basically, no. So I had my construction business, right? I had a team,
Sure.
then that failed. And then what
Mm,
happened was after that failed, I then came down here to Raleigh, had to start over from scratch. And
gotcha.
that's what got me inspired. I was always inspired after I left the NFL for about 6 months, I struggled with what to do next. But then I finally found Caden. And that was, I had a partner and we built, and that was great. But after losing Caden, that's when I had to really reignite myself because I was feeling really down, feeling really depressed, feeling really anxious because I was in financial ruin.
Sure.
I had no money. I lost my home, all my possessions, cars, everything was stripped from me. And I filed a complete Chapter 7 bankruptcy.
Okay. So that would trigger you when you was, I'm thinking, for example, you was at the John Tory, you had the trash on. That would trigger you, inspired you, like, I got to change, make this better.
Correct. Because before that, there was no accountability, no responsibility in my life. I was just blaming others for everything going on bad. And I was tired of doing that. And God has a funny way of saying,
That's
hey,
right.
if you want to get things back on track, it has to always start with you.
Ladies and gentlemen, you hear that? That's what I plug that always. Don't condemn, don't complain because you have a choice to make a change. He took accountability of his actions. As long as he's got health and strength, you can keep going on. But once you have awareness, he was aware of that because of the trash and everything that inspired him. You're like, man, did you feel like I could do better than this? I gotta make some changes, right?
Correct, because up until then, it was always somebody else's fault. It was never
Mm,
Marcus's
pointing
fault,
fingers,
and
yeah.
there was always. It's kind of like you're how does they say it? Like it's easy to point your finger at somebody,
That's
but
right.
it's
It's
hard.
four
It's
more.
hard. Yeah, it's hard to point your thumb at somebody. You should point your thumb needs to point back to you, right?
That's right. That's
That's the
right.
natural way.
That's right.
So instead of pointing my thumb back at me, I was pointing fingers outward.
Yeah.
Once I stopped pointing fingers outward and just turned my thumb back to me, that's when life got better.
That's right. That's right. So at that time, you didn't burn any bridges, or you had a source. Well, there's a will, there's a way. What got you started? What motivated you to go into speaking? Because your speaking
Well,
is more powerful because you spreading out, you're networking.
I, I
You're
came
not just
home
any
that
speaker. That's my point. Is you're not just
right,
any speaker. So you for a
right.
purpose.
I came home that morning after the spoiled milk moment, wrote down my three biggest strengths. I'm a good communicator, I'm a good storyteller, and I want to help people.
That's right.
And after processing that in my brain, at that time, as a custodian, I was listening to a lot of Tony Robbins
Mm,
material, podcasts, things like that on my ship. And I said, well, if Tony Robbins can do it, why can't I? And that's what launched me into speaking. And I got a bunch of free jobs, stuff like that, but nothing paid for 2.5 years.
mm.
Finally got my first paid job in April 2016 because I started speaking
Wow.
in September 2013. And once I got that first paid job, that's when things started to move forward in the right direction.
Congratulations, man. It's April as we speak. It's what, the 14th? It's about to happen, man.
Yeah,
Endurance.
correct. That's correct. So it's actually it's been 6 years this
Wow.
month since I
Wow.
got my first paid speaking. I got my first paid speaking job in April of 2016. So it's
That's
been
awesome.
exactly 6 years this month that I got my first. 6 years ago, we got our first paid speaking job.
That's awesome. That's awesome. But ladies and gentlemen, just press on time. We got about 5 to 7 more minutes on there. Appreciate your time, but we can get deep hopefully the next time on there because this is a deep subject that I focus on. Did you burn bridges? Did you build bridges to get there? So you were building bridges, like for example, you was putting out content like this, and then all of a sudden it was just a law of magnetism, law of attraction came to you, or you just said,
So
what?
I burnt a ton of bridges
Wow,
with my
that's
with my construction company
Okay.
when it failed. When I
Okay.
lost everything, I burnt bridges with my old partner, my
Sure.
employees, all that type of stuff. I was in a really dark place. When it came to speaking, I built bridges because I got my first non-paid corporate job from one of my football clients who I was training both his boys in football technique. He worked for a Fortune 500 brand called NetApp. And that was my first ever non-paid corporate Fortune 500 client. And that helped me to get on the trajectory. But I was really good at building bridges throughout building this career because this business of speaking, it's all about not who you know, it's more about who knows you.
That's right. That's right. But at that time, that was at your time because you wasn't aware. You burnt their bridge. You burned bridges, but it's your mindset. Now I'm going to build bridges, and everything started flowing. You build a context. There's no content without a context. So your value just started coming, and here you are today. Am I right?
Correct. Yes,
okay.
Correct.
Okay. So 2 questions, we're done. Can you give some, if someone's looking to speak, or for example, you're a business consultant too, you already answered part of it though. What do you suggest? Give us some pointers for someone that's starting out their business or for their marketing and sales. How would you start out? What's some pointers for them to do?
There's 3 parts of any successful business. Well, 4: marketing, sales, operations, finance. Okay. Marketing is key. If you're trying to start a business of speaking, you need to market yourself and do it to your inner circle. Let your inner circle know what you are trying to do and start with them. And then there's 3 things you need to utilize to get yourself going: focus, strategize, execution. Focus is things like visualize, lock in, and attack. Okay. Strategize, be innovative, create your blueprint, create processes and systems to get where you need to go. And execution, be tactical, be efficient, pivot if necessary, but never get off course.
Were you in the military or was your family in the military? That's strong, man.
Both my grandpas were in the Army World War II.
Awesome. Did you sponge off of them or just natural? That was just something?
No, man. This is just like from years of being in what I do and the work I do with my coaching clients, my consulting clients, and my speaking business. This is something I've really been built on for a long time myself.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So what's your perspective now from the last 6 years? And then we're just about done. This is it. What's your perspective on speaking on your overcoming and building of your business so far? How's it changed?
It's changed because we have evolved and brought on great team members to help delegate things to. In the beginning, you're going to have to do a lot of things yourself, and that's part of the process. Unless you're wealthy and you want to bring people on right away, you can do that, but very few of us are in that position because I sure was not. But over time, I built a phenomenal team. So now our team, my website SEO person, my internal content person, my external content publicist and marketing person. I have a trademark and patent person, videographer, bookkeeper, accountant, lawyer. All these things are the moving foundational building blocks of Ogden Ventures LLC. So today we're different because we're in a position to hire and bring on people where before we were not. So that's very important. And people need to understand that's part of the process. don't get discouraged, but
Mm-hmm.
continue to move forward, because as you start to build success, you need to share a little bit of your profits to bring on people to help you do what, right, Nick? Bring in
Right.
more business, more revenue, and more profit. And also get yourself a support system where you can be able to get where you want to go and go to the finish line and beyond.
That's right. So what is your definition of leadership? And that's it. I got to get you
Leadership,
on. Yeah.
leadership is serving a cause that is greater than yourself.
Okay.
And also, one of my favorite quotes by General Dwight D. Eisenhower: leadership is the ability to get people to do what you want done because they want to do it.
Awesome. Awesome. So what do you got going on? I know you have a new podcast. What do you got going on that you love them?
No, just a podcast, 11 Marques Show. It's globally ranked. We're crushing it. Had on some phenomenal guests like Michael Strahan, Joe Namath. That's doing amazing. We have our speaking business, our coaching business. We're launching a couple of online courses with some great partners. The Carson Group out of Omaha. One of our other clients up in Toronto, and another client and another one of our inner circle, 21 Klets out of California. And we're just really fortunate to continue to grow our brand, get into more media. I actually have a 10:30 interview with the Carolinian, which is a paper out of Greensboro, North Carolina. My publicist got that set up for us.
Congratulations.
Thank you, sir. Tomorrow with the Wake Weekly, which is a big newspaper here in Wake County, where I'm at, North Carolina. And again, the publicist that we brought on, Ben, has been phenomenal. So again, just have some great projects in the hopper. And we're blessed to have an amazing team to help us get where we're trying to go.
Congratulations on your success. So how can they get in touch with you? And
they can go to our website, www.marques, MARQUES, Ogden, OGDEN.com, and they can get in touch with us. We'd love to hear from you.
Well, thanks, Marques, for your time. I'd love to see you in another episode if possible. But thanks for your time, brother. And that's it, ladies and gentlemen. As I always say, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us on the Nicholas Brown Podcast. Make sure to visit our website, www.nickbrowninc.com, where you can subscribe to the show in iTunes, Stitcher, or via RSS, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you found value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you like this show and you are a new real estate investor, then check out one of Nicholas's free reports called the Wholesale Dominator Report, also located on our website, www.nickbrowninc.com/free reports. Be sure to tune in for our next episode. And remember, don't condemn, don't complain, because you have a choice to make a change. Have a great day.